coming up with no mentor.
Save the people, save the people, save us all.
I'm uplifted by the pen in my grip. It's the shift of my weight on that earth. I admit, I forget that I'm here just to hover on a whim. Rock a taint while I paint with the colors of the wind. And so far what I learned is I ain't learned shit yet. No concern for the cards or the chips yet. Yeah, I'll return when I'm impressed. I'll return when I learn how to walk with a big step. Until then, I'm just fighting for the fun of it. Brighten up my light and spitting typos from my lemon lips. You think I care that you cover this? You think I'm here just to break my own bread and give you some of it? I wanna climb, but I gotta make it work, man. I wanna make it shine, but I gotta make it worth it. In time, for it lack of better words, I wanna hit the world, but I gotta hit the nerve first. And no yes, I can feel it in the depths. I can hear it in my voice, I can feel it when I step. I make noise for the ones that wanna rest, cause that's the only way to make sure I got them stretched. And nah, I ain't the one concerned with getting stressed. I'm just minding me and mine in the hopes that I progress. But maybe I'm the type to get upset, cause I haven't felt like I've come of age just yet. I haven't turned a page just yet. I'm still writing, I ain't making waves just yet. But I'll be damned if they catch me waiting for a later date. I'm right here giving all I be to this paper mate. Oh, you wanna climb, but you gotta put in work, man. You wanna make it shine, well let's see you make it worth it. In time, for it lack of better words, you wanna hit the world, but you gotta hit the nerve first.
Save the people, save the people, save us all.
How long did you finish it? You haven't had it for a long time, yeah. Oh, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2. Get live, mother. Get live. That's right. We're live, man. It's the B-Side Show right here. We got our next guest in the building, man. East of the Rivers. Here, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yo, what's up? Thanks for having me again. This is Kiddo for everybody who doesn't know. Kiddo.
Kiddo's in the
So
building.
I have a strange, interesting hip hop fact. East of the River has the best hair in all of LA hip hop.
Oh, yeah.
Between you,
That's true.
Max, Mescalito, you guys have the
yeah.
best hair. It's like
True.
unbelievable.
I don't
right?
know about Mescal. His is a little receding.
Ah.
But
Oh
he's,
man.
shouts to Mescal. But he's growing it out. It looks luscious, you know, from
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the pics. All the pics. It looks,
It looks like it goes
Not
with
even have
this.
the same issue.
It goes. That's right. No.
And there's a reason I'm bald.
No, you know what?
Nobody chooses to be bald at
No,
27.
mine's different. It runs on my family. We don't go bald. We get gray hair, dog. So I shave mine so everybody don't see all the gray hairs.
There you
Fuck
go,
it.
there you go.
Hey,
That
but
looks classy, though. That looks classy, no?
right? I
make
just
that
leave it
shit
in the
work.
beard. Fuck it. Hey, Kiddo, you've been here before. We talked about a lot of projects you guys are doing because
Yes.
the whole camp in general, you guys stay working, and that's one of the things I respect and dig because
Thank
that's
you.
part of hip hop. Let's keep this thing moving. Everybody keep working. But now it's your turn. You got this project out now. Can you talk about that right off the bat? Let's get it.
Yes, I'm super excited because it's basically my debut as Kiddo.
Okay.
It took me a while. I mean, not just to release this project in particular, but just the project in general because I had this long period of time where I was just making tracks and trying to get my stage presence on and just
Yeah.
kind of everything that happened from when I first jumped into the scene happened very quickly. So thankfully, I mean, within the first 2 years, 'cause it's been about 2 years and finally it's done and it's out. It's titled Escapism for anybody who hasn't heard. You can find that on Spotify and iTunes and Google Play and Amazon, all official and shit, at Kiddo, EOTR. But yeah, I'm very excited. It's produced almost entirely by Bad Son, who's a producer from Whittier, which is where I'm from. And mixed and mastered by Viva Mezcal. Shouts to him once again.
Yeah, and he, for those that don't know, besides the bad hairdo, he went to school for this shit. Like he really knows what he's doing with that.
He loses his hair because he works so hard, man. Like,
Hey, I wanted to ask you, Kiddo, though, because you mentioned, doing tracks and getting the stage presence going and stuff like that. So how did you know did you like kind of sit down and know what you were gonna do for this project, or how did you pick what you were gonna put for your actual release because you were doing songs so many at the time? You
In
know?
a way, yes, because I had like an initial sit down with Bad Son,
Okay.
and it was like my first time actually
You knew
ever
the
meeting
direction.
him. Yeah, and they had the rest of East of the River had been working with him too as well, and I had known him from a couple other homies, and he's been around Whittier and stuff. So I met up with him, which was like one of the first times we ever really kicked it, and we went through a bunch of beats. He made some new ones. He showed me some of his old stuff. We just kind of went through, and I described what I was feeling or what direction I kind of wanted the album to go, but I didn't really know yet, you know. So he just sent me a whole catalog of stuff, and you know, whichever ones that I was feeling at that particular time. You know, it took me a while just to go through and pick them, and you know, just a song would come out, you know, on whatever day or night that was, that I would listen to that beat, and it would just, you know, it would bring something out of me, and those are, you know, those ended up being the final picks. So I'm very happy.
So are you relieved that's finally out there, or are you more anxious that, hey, this is great, it's getting a great response, I want to get my second one out there?
Yeah, I think I'm definitely more anxious. I mean, I was relieved for it to finally be done and to finally have a project that people can listen to, and you know, that I can push for a while. But honestly, it's like it's barely the beginning for me. I feel at least, you know, I'm trying to get that
sure
next
it
one
is.
started.
Yeah, for sure.
It's always a good feeling, right, when somebody says, hey, where can I listen to your stuff?
Yeah.
And you have a complete package, as opposed to saying, oh, go to my SoundCloud / rapper X under Y, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so that has to be a good feeling.
Yeah, definitely. And that was me for a long time. It was like, I felt like I wasn't necessarily ready to put out like a full project. I was still kind of working on my craft, and I'm super critical and, you know, super self-conscious of myself, and I was for a long time. So I wasn't sure when I wanted to release it or if I was even ready, but people started asking like, where can I find your music? Do you have any projects out? Do you have any CDs I can cop? And I'm like, dude, I'm barely starting. Like, I don't got nothing yet. But finally, you know, it came out, and I think it turned out a little differently than I expected it to, but I feel like it was perfect for the moment and just the year that I spent, and pretty just it encapsulates like everything that I've done in this past year.
Well, something I appreciate about your writing, or how I've seen you when you do perform and all that, there's this dude you might have heard of, like we mentioned earlier, this guy named Mad Max. But one of the things I like about the way it's there's intelligence in the writing. Like, it's not just like I went to the park at dark, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
there's more like where you
That's
can.
a good line.
You know,
it's a good line.
been used.
Let's not overlook that.
It's classic. It's been used about 70 million times.
I've been Googling stuff all the time, looking up
Yeah,
words
doing
and
your
seeing in
research.
which ways
Yeah.
I can use them. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was a big thing, you know, that I was influenced by growing up with other people in hip hop before me. So I mean, I definitely try to implement that.
And that's why I kind of brought it up, is that's something that I've always dug about hip hop, is that part, like where you can maybe even rewind something and hear, well, like, did he just say, yes, he did, like, or you know what I'm saying, like that kind of thing. There's a little more thought put into it instead of just verses, I guess, just you know, thinking that you can fart and it sounds good on a beat. You know what I'm saying?
Well, hip hop is the only genre that you can listen to a song for 5 years, and then you listen to it for some strange reason, and then it makes sense for you, right? That line makes sense. This song
that
you've
is
been
true.
listening to over 500 times, it makes sense though. It happens to me all the
Depending
time,
on the
you
writer,
know?
and then it can be perceived in so many different ways. You know, it could be completely different from what the artist intended to say. But that's what I love about it. So much versatility. But I always thought the best tracks were those ones where you rewind it and you're like, what did he say? What did she say? You know, like, can I get that line again? You know, that those were the most touching to me.
A little bit of thought put
You
into it.
want to consume it. You want to figure it out. You want to dissect it. Oh, what did this mean? That's what's so great about hip hop, and that's what doesn't get spoken about enough.
Yeah, definitely.
So let me ask you the same question I've been asking all night. Studio or stage? Which one do you have?
I'm gonna say studio. I was gonna go and say both, because it's definitely, you need both, you know, in order to
We
do
don't
this and be
accept those answers
successful.
over here.
But definitely my favorite place is the studio. My favorite place is to be in there and
Creating.
creating. And I mean, yeah, it's fun to be up on stage and it's fun to show everybody what you got, but there's no feeling like creating that new song that you really feel and it's coming from your heart and you're like, damn, I wonder what people are gonna think now, you know, like.
And
nothing like that.
even when you put it out and like say, like, you know, and not going here because you're an MC straight up, it's not female, but when you get like say a young girl or someone like that, like looking up or can relate to what you're saying, like that's got to be the best feeling, because you know you're like the writing and the creating that you put in, like somebody feels that way and you just help them like
Yeah,
get through
exactly.
their day. Or
And
whatever.
I've had, despite the amount of shows that I've had where the sound isn't even good and the mics don't even work and all that
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
but I've had people at shows see me live and come up after and be like, I really like what you're saying. I listen to your lyrics, and I'm like, thank God somebody's actually like listening to what I'm saying, you know, just because that's the whole process.
And as far as the whole camp, like in general, it has to feel good when an OG. I mean, besides us, we know what you guys are doing. But like someone like Merce, like, you know, there was an incident that happened. The whole paid dues didn't come around. It'll come back around. But the thing is that the fact that he sees what you guys are doing, as somebody like that has to feel real great.
It's
man.
ridiculous. I mean, because I was such a fan of him when I was a teenager and stuff, and I went to shows to go see him, and the fact that he's here and he's watching me, you know, my group and everything, and just actually showing love, you know, really, and not even on some fangirl stuff. Like, he's really showing love and supporting what we do.
He sees what you guys are doing.
Yeah,
for real.
it's a blessing, honestly.
Let me ask you a follow-up question. That express to me the two feelings you had. The first feeling you had when you found out Easter River was going to be on Pay Dues, and then the second feeling you had when you found out it wasn't going to happen.
At first it was like, well, we didn't even really know it was Paid Dues at first. All we knew was that Merz was hitting us up for a show in Los Angeles, and we were like, fuck yeah, we're gonna do a show for Merz, you know. But the very next day, that's when the flyer came out, and
everybody,
Mad Max had sent me the flyer, and I was like, what? Like, it was just complete disbelief. Like, I was just like, no fucking way. Like, this show, and it had been gone for so long, and it was one of my favorites. I think my first hip hop show ever was Paid Dues, and it had been gone for about 4 years, I think. So this was a return of it, and damn, it was unbelievable feeling. And then when it didn't happen, I mean, I guess I was disappointed, you know. Obviously it's a heartbreak. I would have loved to be on that stage, you know, but at the same time, it wasn't really a setback. I didn't really take it as hard because I was like, you know what, at least we got the opportunity. It got us a little bit of buzz. We have Merz who's watching what we're doing, who's backing us up, who actually sees something in our talent and sees something in the work that we're putting in, and that's more than I could ever ask for. The fact that the OGs are looking at us and, you know, like...
I felt the same way, though, you know, when I saw all the stuff, but I felt the same way. I felt like, I mean, if I saw it from your guys' perspective, I felt like it didn't stop any of your momentum.
No,
at all.
That's what we kind of had to remind each other, I think, because, I mean, it was us as a collective, and, you know, there were some of us who were, like, more heartbroken, some of us, you know, but it was just like, hey, like, we're here, and this isn't stopping what we're doing. We all had projects that we were working on, and we were planning to drop consecutively, you know, and I was almost done with mine, and I'm like, I can't let that distract me, you know, like, I'm almost done with this, the next person's almost done with this, Ganesha, who I think you met also, working on his
and he
stuff.
was here yesterday as
They
well.
had just dropped an album, like, we were all just in constant motion, like, it was, you can't stop and, you know, waste time.
Ain't stopping what's going on. There's too much going on,
cry
man. You
about
guys
it.
got that fight, you know what I'm saying? But hey, also
Hopefully
one
one
more
day.
thing, man. You guys got a new show coming as well. Can you let them know about that?
Oh, yes.
What's up, man? You guys all gonna be on that, or
I
what?
mean, we're trying to kind of switch it up and have different hosts and things like that. We want to have special guests and have people submit their music that we can play. But it's going to be on espacioradio.org, and that's EOTR Network's radio station, official radio station. It's going to be every Friday from 1 to 3 p.m. Unfortunately, I work still, so it might be a while till I get on there. But, you know, I got my music on there.
Listen,
and, you
if
know,
there's any
definitely-
reason for your boss to give you the day off, it's like,
Right,
hey,
right. I'm gonna be sick.
Hey, but I got a radio show,
Like-
okay? I'm going to need this day off, right?
Sick today, my bad. Catch me on the radio. I won't
Feeling
be-
a little under the weather tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's gonna be every Friday, 1 to
Okay.
3 p.m. Coming soon. The official launch is gonna be November 3rd.
Okay. Hey,
Yeah,
but
super excited.
like I said, like from a hip hop head perspective, I like to see what you guys are doing because, like I said, the whole camp stays moving. But on top of that, you guys are all supporting of each other. Like you guys are always there when each other's doing something, doing a show, whatever. You guys are all there,
Yeah,
and it's dope,
definitely.
man. So-
Yeah, and it's crazy because there's so many of us, but I mean, these are the people that, you know, that I clicked with right away and that just have supported me when I didn't have anything, when I was just putting out my first couple of tracks, when I was doing my first show. Like, these are the people who have inspired me to be better than I am already, and it's like pure skill and just commitment from each and every one of them. Like, it's really dope.
Let me ask you this to go back to the project. From when you first dropped it, because it's been out how long officially now?
About a month.
About a month only.
Yeah.
Okay, so from when you first dropped it and you're putting it out to maybe how you're feeling now, like let me hear your favorite track when it dropped and how about now? So people can go check that out.
My favorite track, I guess when I dropped it, I don't know, I want to say like These Things. There's a song called These Things that gets a lot of good response and has gotten a lot of good response in comparison to a lot of the other ones. But when I mean my personal one I think is going to be the first one on that track, which is Making a Feeling, because it's very personal to me because I talk about hip-hop and my love for hip-hop and kind of how I started from when I was a little kid and my dad was playing music for me to becoming an MC and really putting work into it, you know, and it's pretty much just an ode to everybody who works hard in this shit and who's an artist and really doing what they can to make things happen.
And see, that's something I knew, like by hearing what you do, that I knew there was an influence from somebody that was older than you to get you to know about kind of the essence of it or whatever, but it was your pops. That's dope.
Yeah, I mean, he was a young dad in the 90s, so he was listening to all that West Coast shit, all that 90s shit, like, and I grew up on it. That's all he listened to. So whenever I was riding with him, that's what I heard.
So does he listen to your tracks? Does he bump your shit in the
whip? He told me the other day. I mean, low key, I'm still like, Dad, Mom, don't listen to my stuff. Like,
it always has to be a little bit awkward, right?
Yeah, I'm like,
you're pouring your soul and your heart out on these tracks, and then like it's kind of
it's that vulnerable, that, and I'm cussing and shit, and it's But he had told me, he's like, yeah, but listen to your record, and all my friends want one. I was like, oh shit, that's tight. Like, thanks. You know, you started it, low key. You don't know, but yeah.
See, they might have a 8-track like I do in the whip, man. You never know.
For real.
Shit. Hey, you're also gonna perform something, rocking something before you go, or what?
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, but you just dropped this. What we're gonna do right now, man? You just dropped a new video today, officially, right?
Yes, sir. It dropped like literally a couple of hours ago.
Okay.
This track is also on the EP Escapism. It's titled Pendulum.
And who did this though? We know this guy, right? Did the video?
This is Mud's One.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Mud's One.
I've heard of him before.
Yeah.
So we're gonna check this video. I'll be right back with a live performance. Kiddo in the building, east of the river. What?
B-side show, baby.
Where I started, underneath the dirt. Was skipped upon the harvest in the garden of my work, but it was worked on. Cared and nurtured till it looked strong. Busted in the dirt, but I'm a one got my work on it now. I stand among those who spit true, kick flows and kid tunes. Those shows with they crews got pros and influence, live steady through the movement. And if you ain't got that same hunger, keep moving. You wanna kill them, then prove it. You wanna make something of the feeling, pay dues, then go ahead and try to fill in those shoes and make sure you say more than motherfuckers with their loose pens. Yeah, I'm cutting all my loose ends. Never was the type to give a fuck about the new trends. Blueprints tell your girl she never needed them. Knew about the Mogwai in the box and kept feeding them. Hearing destiny's ring by the pendulum swing. Ain't no timid way you're living, you be killing the king. I've always been the type of kid that tends to stray from the usual. Only look for those who give respect and keep it mutual. Lay the hype to rest, I ain't the best, but I'll be pushing through. And I just wanna make it beautiful. See, I've already got a voice behind every sentence telling me that I could be just a little more impressive. Got an angel on my side trying to give me some direction, while the devil in my head is steady handling my plans. I ain't stepping to one damn thing they gotta say to me. I see through those who indulge in their complacency. I ain't trying to play, I'm here to give a little taste of thee, in hopes that one day all the shit I said will set me free. Maybe one day something that I said will set them free, and maybe one day something that I said will get me cream, but who knows? Could be sure as fuck that I don't. Taking up the phone, you could be sure as fuck that I won't. Can't duplicate what I want, just do the you and walk on. To used to do to play the fool and shoot the bull to get on. More focused than I led on. I brought the shit they read on. I made my fate and brought the plate that they can lay their head on. Yeah. Hearing destiny's ring by the pendulum swing. Ain't no timid way you're living, yeah, we killing the king. I've always been the type of kid that tends to stray from the usual. Only look for those that give respect and keep it mutual. Lay the hype to rest, I ain't the best, but I'll be pushing through. Just wanna make it beautiful, Hearing destiny's ring by the pendulum swing. Ain't no timid way you're living, yeah, we killing the king. I've always been the type of kid that tends to stray from the usual. Only look for those who give respect and keep it mutual. Lay the hype to rest, I ain't the best, but I'll be pushing